Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is the kind of rumor that immediately catches your attention, especially for us Packers fans who are always hungry for that game-changing move. You've probably heard whispers around the NFL, but now it's heating up. There's serious speculation that Tyreek Hill might be heading to the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, you heard that right. The Miami Dolphins, currently sitting at 3-7 but with some cap space and a big decision looming, are reportedly open to trading the Cheetah. And the Packers? Well, they're definitely in the mix if the right deal comes along. The Dolphins have their eyes on a first-round pick in 2026 plus a fifth-rounder, and it's easy to see why. Tyreek Hill at age 31 still looks like one of the most explosive playmakers in the league, and his stats last season speak volumes about his impact. Over 10 yards receiving, averaging 92 yards per game with 8 touchdowns and an astonishing 22 explosive plays. Not to mention, he's top in yards after catch with 5. 6 YAC per reception and a 93. 8 PFF receiving grade, which tells you how dominant he still is after the catch. And he forces defenses to stay honest, forcing 38 missed tackles last year alone. Hill's career totals stand at nearly 9, 0 yards and 72 touchdowns since coming into the league in 2016. Remarkably similar to Randy Moss in terms of speed and big play ability, but with the added explosiveness that makes defenders look silly. Sure, he's had some injury issues, missing weeks 2 and 3 this season due to a quad strain, but when healthy, he's still a game breaker. The Dolphins are rebuilding under Mike McDaniel, and with Waddle emerging as a star, they're pondering whether to cash in on Hill to bolster their future. For Miami, it's about cap management, especially since they're trying to keep their offensive line and defensive line intact while adding more draft capital. Now, why would this be such a game changer for the Packers? Well, imagine a deep threat like Hill stretching the field for Jordan Love. Green Bay's offense has looked decent, but lacking that explosive element that pushes defenses back and opens up the run game and intermediate routes. Hill would instantly elevate their aerial attack, projecting an additional 450 yards through the air and increasing EPA per pass by around 22%. That's a significant upgrade, turning the Packers' offense from a middle-of-the-pack unit into a top-3 threat. And it's not just about the numbers. Hill's ability to create separation, especially on deep routes, is second to none. Against Romeo Doubs, Hill's presence would add about 2-3 yards per route run, with an extra 1-8 yards of separation, and he'd turn a high percentage of deep targets into big gains. Think about how that would boost Love's confidence and the team's overall offensive efficiency. Looking at the bigger picture, Hill's addition could transform Green Bay into a legit Super Bowl contender. His speed is a game winner, especially in the playoffs when every possession counts. Historically, teams that add a player with Hill's speed and big play capability see their odds of winning it all improve dramatically. Currently, the Packers sit at 6-3-1 with a decent shot at the postseason, but adding a weapon like Hill could be the X factor they need to push for a deep playoff run. His presence on the field would draw double teams, freeing up other receivers and opening lanes for the run game as well. And let's not forget the impact on the defense. While Hill's primary job is to stretch defenses vertically, his threat can open up opportunities for Green Bay's secondary and pass rush. This kind of upgrade is rare. Think back to the Colts in the early 2000s with Harrison and Wayne, when their passing game was unstoppable because defenses couldn't keep up with their speed. Hill could be that kind of lightning bolt for the Packers. The Super Bowl odds, which are currently around plus 3,500, could see a significant shift, possibly dropping to plus 1,100 with the addition of a player of Hill's caliber. That's a huge boost and could be the difference in getting over the hump and finally bringing another Lombardi home. Of course, acquiring Hill wouldn't be cheap, and there are questions about whether the Packers would be willing to part with the kind of draft capital Miami is asking for, especially considering their recent draft strategies. But if Green Bay really wants to send a message that they're all in for a championship run, adding a player who can immediately change the complexion of the offense is exactly the kind of move that could propel them into the elite tier of contenders. Jordan Love would get a true #1 receiver who demands respect. And suddenly, the Packers' offense would look completely different, more explosive, more dangerous, and more capable of winning those close games in the playoffs. The NFL is a league where speed kills, and Tyreek Hill is arguably the fastest player on the planet. His lightning-quick routes and ability to turn short passes into long gains make him a nightmare for defenses. Imagine him lining up alongside Waddle, with Waddle's emerging talent and Hill's elite speed creating matchup nightmares all over the field. The Packers have shown flashes of potential this season, but with Hill on their roster, they could take that next step, becoming a team nobody wants to face in January. The thought of Hill lighting up Lambeau Field with a deep ball or breaking free on a crucial third down is enough to get any Packers fan dreaming of Super Bowl glory. In terms of the upcoming draft and roster strategy, Green Bay has been relatively conservative, but if they're serious about contending, this might be the kind of bold move that defines the season. The team's cap situation isn't perfect, but with some creative maneuvering and a willingness to spend some of their draft capital, acquiring Hill could be the kind of splash they need to send a message to the rest of the NFL that the Packers aren't just rebuilding. They're reloading, and they're gunning for another Lombardi trophy. So, in summary, all eyes are on this potential blockbuster trade. If it happens, it could reshape the NFC North and the entire NFC landscape. For us Packers fans, it's a thrilling thought, seeing our team finally land that game changer, that ultimate weapon who can turn a good team into champions. And of course, the hope that this move will set the stage for another historic Green Bay run, one that ends with the Packers back on top, celebrating in Lambeau with the Lombardi trophy in hand. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.